Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking what is arguably the defining challenge of our generation, digital freedom. Get this, every single second, the average person generates over 1.7 megabytes of data. Every single second. We're living in a hyper-connected world, and sure, the tech at our fingertips is basically magic, but there's a catch. There's a pretty massive hidden cost to this constant connection. Especially now, in the age of artificial intelligence, our relationship with technology is shifting at warp speed. So we really need to understand exactly what's on the line when it comes to our privacy, our autonomy, and honestly, our future.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's the roadmap for our journey today. We're going to look at the digital double-edged sword, the digital security Trojan horse, the idea of humans being reduced to data, AI as the infinite watcher, and then wrap up with how we go about reclaiming our digital freedom. Part 1. The digital double-edged sword. Like I said, our deep connection to tech has opened up some absolutely brilliant possibilities, but it definitely comes with a price tag.
Think about it. We've built this incredible world of instant global communication, crazy fast innovation, and literally unlimited access to information. It's a miracle, it really is. But right alongside those amazing perks, we are facing some really severe creeping threats. The exact same infrastructure that lets you seamlessly video chat with a friend halfway across the world, well, it's the exact same infrastructure that enables unprecedented mass surveillance. We're witnessing a staggering concentration of power right now, mostly in the hands of a few tech giants and state actors. So we're left with this reality where the very tools keeping us connected are simultaneously tracking our every move, fundamentally threatening our personal privacy on a scale we have literally never seen before.
Moving on to Part 2, the digital security Trojan horse. Let's take a look at how completely well-meaning security measures can quietly, almost invisibly, morph into something else entirely.
So the crucial point is captured perfectly here by tech founders like Pavel Durov. Often, governments introduce mass surveillance mechanisms with a stated, usually noble goal, like, say, preserving public security or protecting vulnerable groups from exploitation. And let me be clear, rooting out those crimes is absolutely paramount. Nobody's arguing that. But the real danger, it lies in how the technology is actually built to achieve that goal. Because once a backdoor is mandated by law or technically created to catch the bad guys, that exact same mechanism can be quietly expanded. What looks like a vital protective shield at the front gate often contains the hidden architecture for widespread societal control. Let's move to and see how this builds. It's a classic slippery slope. Step 1 almost always begins with that mandate to protect vulnerable groups, a goal, like we said, everyone supports. But then, to achieve that total visibility, Step 2 kicks in. Authorities eventually demand systemic access to private communications. Once that encryption is broken and routine monitoring just becomes the norm, that boundary between targeted, legitimate security and mass, warrantless surveillance completely blurs. Which brings us to Step 3. Almost inevitably, these systems become entrenched tools for mass control. It happens incrementally, just step by step, until that original protective intent is totally overshadowed by the sheer raw power of the surveillance apparatus itself.
Part 3. Humans reduced to data. We are now facing a threat that goes way, way beyond traditional government surveillance. I want you to think about your daily routine for just a second. Every single search query you type into your phone, every private message you send, every online purchase, every little micro-interaction, it's all being harvested. Data brokers and tech giants are constantly stitching together millions of these tiny data points into a staggering, hyper-detailed digital profile of exactly who you are. And the real danger here? It's not just getting served a weirdly specific targeted ad. No, it's predictive algorithms. We're already seeing scenarios, and in some places around the world, this is a present reality, where your ability to get a bank loan, land a job, or even travel is judged. Not by your actual character, not by your real-world actions, but by a machine learning model that's just calculating your statistical risk, based entirely on this harvested digital footprint.
Which really forces us to confront a pretty heavy question. Are we still independent humans, or are we merely a collection of data and statistical patterns? Take a second to really chew on that. When opaque algorithms start dictating our real-world opportunities based on just statistical assumptions about our past behavior, the very essence of human independence and free will is suddenly on the line.
Part 4. AI, the infinite watcher. Because if data is the fuel, this is the technology accelerating everything. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift we're undergoing. Historically, mass surveillance was, it was hard work. monitoring a target took intense manual effort. We're talking human agents, physical wiretaps, targeted tracking. It was a bottleneck. It simply could not scale across an entire population. But artificial intelligence? It fundamentally removes those physical limits. AI systems don't need sleep, they don't get overwhelmed by background noise. Using advanced natural language processing, automated biometric harvesting, facial recognition, these systems can scan millions of private conversations and behaviors simultaneously. The old technological bottleneck to watching everyone all the time, it's completely gone. AI acts as the ultimate force multiplier for surveillance.
Part 5. Reclaiming our digital freedom. Now take a breath because it's not all doom and gloom. There are actual structural defenses we can put in place right now. To preserve our autonomy, we as a society have to draw some hard lines. First, we need strictly defined legal limits on what surveillance is actually permissible, backed by robust, independent oversight. Second, we have got to fiercely protect and support strong end-to-end encryption. This is absolutely crucial because any encryption backdoor created for the good guys is inevitably going to be found and exploited by the bad ones. Third, we need a massive paradigm shift in data ownership. We need laws recognizing that your personal data belongs strictly to you, not the platform hosting it. And finally, absolute transparency. We just cannot allow the algorithms and policies governing our digital lives to operate as these proprietary, untouchable black boxes.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it reframes the whole conversation. We have to radically redefine what we're actually fighting for here. True digital freedom? It's not just about having a fast Wi-Fi connection or the basic ability to log on to the internet. It is a fundamental human right. It's the right to think freely, to communicate privately without interception, and to live your life without being subjected to constant surveillance and opaque algorithmic judgment. Protecting this expanded, profound definition of freedom is one of the most vital responsibilities we carry into the future.
Ultimately, the future of our freedom hinges on one critical choice. Will technology serve humans, or will humans become subjects of technology? The architecture of tomorrow is literally being built today, but the rules of how it operates, those are still ours to write. So the next time you click Accept without reading the terms and conditions, ask yourself, how much of your autonomy are you truly willing to trade for a bit of convenience? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.